The biggest lie you've ever been told is that your education is the only path to wealth. You're told to put your head down, get the grades, and eventually, if you're lucky, you'll land a job that pays just enough to keep you coming back for more. This is the script the system wants you to follow, but it's a script designed to keep you broke, stressed, and stuck in a cycle of trading your most valuable asset, time, for a flatline paycheck that barely beats inflation. Now, let's be real for a second. Most people watching this are probably sitting in a classroom right now or procrastinating on an assignment, wondering if there's a better way. You see people online making thousands of dollars from their laptops, and you think it's either a scam or they just got incredibly lucky. But as a self-made millionaire who started with exactly $0 and no qualifications, I can tell you that making your first $10,000 is not about luck, it's a skill. And once you learn that skill, you can repeat it over and over again until you've built real, lasting wealth. When I was 18, I didn't have a rich dad or a trust fund. My teachers actually told me I wouldn't amount to anything because I didn't fit the mold. I was hyperactive, I couldn't focus on boring textbooks, and I was constantly in trouble. But the day I left school was one of the best days of my life because I realized that the real world doesn't care about your GPA, it cares about the value you can provide. I set myself a goal that seemed impossible at the time, making $10,000 while still being a student. Most people make this way harder than it needs to be. They try to jump into complex day trading or high-risk crypto because a guru promised them overnight riches. The problem is, those methods require huge upfront cash and a lot of luck. When you're starting from scratch, you need a system that requires a small amount of money to begin with and puts cash in your pocket every single day. In this video, I'm going to break down the exact three-step process I would use if I had to start all over again today. This is the stupid simple way to $10,000 that they will never teach you in school. But before we dive into the first phase, I want to set a challenge for you. Most people have the attention span of a goldfish nowadays. If you can't even sit through a 10-minute video that could literally change your financial future, then you've already lost. But if you're part of the ambitious minority who is willing to listen and take action, then you're exactly who I made this for. We're going to talk about why most students fail, the income-to-effort ratio you need to master, and the specific side hustles that are booming right now in 2026. This isn't just about the money. It's about proving to yourself that you are in control of your life. So don't click on that next video just yet. Make sure you've smashed that like button for the algorithm, and let's get into the first phase of the $10,000 student blueprint. To make $10,000 as a student, you have to stop thinking like a student. In school, you're taught that effort equals results. If you study for 10 hours, you get an A. If you study for 1 hour, you fail. But in the world of wealth, that equation is completely broken. There are people working 80 hours a week in factories who will never see $10,000 in a single month. And there are 19-year-olds working 2 hours a day from a laptop who make that in a weekend. The difference isn't hard work, it's leverage. When I started my first business, I thought I had to do everything myself. I was the salesman, the manufacturer, and the delivery driver. I was trading my time for money, and I quickly hit a ceiling. I realized that if I wanted to hit the big numbers, I needed to master the income-to-effort ratio. You need to find a vehicle where your income isn't tied to the number of hours you sit at a desk. As a student, your biggest asset isn't your money, it's your ability to learn and adapt faster than the older generation. Most grown-ups are terrified of things like AI, short-form content, or digital arbitrage because they don't understand it. That is your competitive advantage. While they're complaining about how the world is changing, you're going to use those changes to build your empire. But here's the reality check. You cannot build a $10,000 a month business on a $0 a month mindset. Most people fail because they have consumer brain. They get $100 and immediately think about what they can buy: a new pair of shoes, a video game, or a night out. If you want to be rich, you have to switch to producer brain. When you see a successful YouTube video or a viral product, don't just consume it. Ask yourself, how are they making money? What hook did they use? Who is their target audience? Before we get into the specific, stupid, simple side hustles, we need to talk about your freedom figure. For most of you, $10,000 is that magic number. It's the point where you can pay for your own tuition, help your parents out, and never have to worry about a boss ever again. But to get there, you need to follow my rule of one. Most students try to start 5 different things at once. They try dropshipping on Monday, crypto on Tuesday, and an SMMA on Wednesday. They end up being a jack of all trades and master of none. If you want to hit 10K, you pick one specific skill, one specific platform, and you do it for 1 hour every single day without fail. I remember when I was first trying to get ahead, I'd spend my lunch breaks reading business books while everyone else was gossiping or playing football. They thought I was weird. They thought I was boring. But guess what? While they were stressing about finding entry-level jobs after graduation, I was already making more than my teachers. Being different is the price of admission for being wealthy. If you do what everyone else does, you'll get what everyone else has, which is usually bet and a midlife crisis. In the next section, I'm going to reveal the first of the 2 stupid simple vehicles that are perfect for students right now. These require almost zero startup capital, but they have the highest leverage for your time. But remember what I said earlier, if you've already checked your phone or opened another tab, you've already proven you don't have the discipline to make this work. If you're still here, you're ready for step 1 of the blueprint. If you want to hit $10,000 as a student, you need to understand one word: arbitrage. Most people think making money is about creating something brand new, like inventing the next Facebook or designing a revolutionary product. But as a self-made millionaire, I can tell you that the fastest way to wealth is simply moving value from where it is abundant to where it is scarce. The first stupid simple vehicle is digital service arbitrage. Think about it. There are thousands of small business owners out there, plumbers, electricians, local gym owners, who are amazing at what they do, but they're absolutely clueless when it comes to the digital world. They know they need to be on TikTok, they know they need better Google reviews, and they know their website looks like it was built in 1995, but they don't have the time or the know-how to fix it. This is where you come in. You don't need to be a world-class coder or a viral video editor, you just need to be the bridge. Here is the exact step-by-step process. First, you find a specific problem. Let's take short-form content as an example. Every business owner knows they need Reels and TikToks to stay relevant, but they have no idea how to edit them. Second, you go to a marketplace like Upwork or Fiverr and find a highly skilled editor from a country with a lower cost of living who will edit videos for, let's say, $15 a pop. Third, and this is the part where you make the money, you reach out to local businesses and offer a social growth package. You charge them $1,000 a month to handle their short-form content. You aren't selling video editing, you are selling attention and new customers. If you land just 5 clients at $1,000 a month, you are making $5,000. You pay your editor $1,500 to do all the actual work, and you walk away with $3,500 in pure profit for essentially being the project manager. Do that twice and you've hit your $7,000 mark. Find a few more and you're at 10K. I remember when I was starting out, I used a similar middleman strategy with physical goods because the internet wasn't what it is today. I would find a supplier, find a buyer, and just connect the dots. I didn't need a warehouse, I just needed a telephone and the courage to make the call. Today, you have it way easier. You have email, LinkedIn, and DMs. The reason this is perfect for students is that it requires zero capital. You don't buy the service until the client pays you. You are using the client's money to fund your business growth. But here's the catch, and this is why most of your friends will fail if they try this. They'll send 3 emails, get no reply, and say, "This doesn't work." They have a weak link work ethic. To make this work, you need to be a warrior, not a waster. You need to send 50 personalized Loom videos or emails every single day. Wealth isn't handed out, it's taken by those who are willing to do the boring work that everyone else avoids. In the next section, I'm going to show you vehicle number 2, which is even more passive than this one. It's the method I recently tested where I made money without writing a single sentence. But before we move on, I want you to look at your current circle of friends. Are they talking about arbitrage and leverage, or are they talking about the latest Netflix show? Because you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you want to be a millionaire, stop taking advice from people who are broke. Now, if the idea of managing clients or sending 50 emails a day sounds like too much people work for you, then this second vehicle is going to be your bread and butter. I call this the low content asset strategy. Most people think that to make money from books or digital products, you need to be a world-class author or spend years writing a masterpiece. But that's old school thinking. In the digital economy, you don't need to write a single sentence to create an asset that pays you every single month. I'm talking about blank books or low-content products on Amazon KDP. Think about things like journals, planners, logbooks, or even simple composition notebooks for students. People buy these by the millions every year. And the best part, Amazon does all the heavy lifting. They handle the printing, the shipping, and the customer service. You just provide the digital file once, and you've created a money tree that harvests itself. I recently put this to the test. I set myself 3 rules. I wasn't allowed to write a single sentence, I had to do it all from my laptop, and I had to finish the whole thing in less than an hour. I used a simple research tool to find a gap in the market, specifically a specialized fitness planner, and I used a free design tool to put it together. Within days, I made my first sale. Now, $20 or $30 might not seem like much to a millionaire, but for a student, that's proof of concept. If you have 50 of these low-content books live on the store, and each one makes you just $5 profit a week, you're looking at an extra $1,000 a month in almost entirely passive income. But here is where the warrior mindset comes back in. Most wasters will upload one notebook with a generic cover, see no sales in 24 hours, and quit. They'll say Amazon is too saturated. Let me tell you something. Quality is never saturated. The secret is to look for micro niches. Don't just make a journal, make a gardening logbook for organic tomato growers or a password tracker for seniors. When you go deep into a niche, you eliminate the competition. You're no longer competing with the whole world. You're the only solution for a specific group of people. The beauty of this for a student is the zero risk factor. It costs you $0 to upload a book to Amazon. Your only investment is your time. While your friends are scrolling through TikTok, losing your dopamine and their focus, you could be building a library of digital assets that will pay for your lifestyle long after you've graduated. I've spent 24 hours with some of the richest entrepreneurs on the planet, and do you know what they all have in common? They own assets. They don't just work for a paycheck, they build things that work for them. Whether it's a portfolio of stocks, a rental property, or a simple digital planner on Amazon, the goal is the same: decoupling your time from your money. We are entering the final phase of the $10,000 blueprint. In the next section, I'm going to show you how to take the profit from these side hustles and turn it into a multi-million-dollar snowball using the exact investment rules I used to retire in my 20s. If you've made it this far, you're in the top 5% of people who actually have a chance at being rich. Don't drop the ball now.
Listen, making $10,000 as a student is a massive milestone. It's the moment you prove to yourself, your parents, and your teachers that you aren't just another cog in the machine. But here is the secret that the truly wealthy, the 1%, understand. $10,000 isn't the finish line, it's the fuel. Most people, when they hit that first 10K, they do exactly what I told you not to do. They upgrade their lifestyle. They buy the watch, they lease the car, and suddenly they're right back in the rat race, just at a slightly higher level. If you want to be a multi-millionaire, you have to use the snowball effect. I want you to take that profit and follow my 25, 50, 10, 15 rule. 25% goes straight back into growth, buying assets like index funds or dividend stocks that pay you while you sleep. 50% covers your stability, your actual needs. 10% is for your joy jar because you have to reward your hard work. And 15% stays as your opportunity fund for when the next big thing comes along. When I was in my 20s, I wasn't the smartest guy in the room, but I was the most disciplined. While others were spending their bonus money, I was planting seeds. Every dollar you invest today is like a soldier you're sending out to war to bring back more prisoners. Over time, those soldiers build an army, and that army creates an avalanche of wealth that no one can take away from you. As we wrap this up, I want to give you a reality check. You've sat through this entire video. You've seen the digital arbitrage model and the low-content asset strategy. You have the blueprint. But 99% of you watching this will still do absolutely nothing. You'll close this tab, open Instagram, and go back to being a consumer.
The difference between a warrior and a waster is action. So here is my final challenge to you. I don't want you to just try this. I want you to commit to 1 hour of focused, deep work every single day for the next 30 days. No phone, no music, no distractions, just you and your business. If you do that, I guarantee you'll be further ahead than you've been in the last 3 years combined. The world is changing faster than ever. In 2026, the traditional path is a dead end, but for those with the warrior mindset, there has never been a better time to get rich. You have the tools, you have the advantage of being young, and now you have the plan. Don't be the person who looks back in 10 years and says, "I wish I started then." Be the person who says, "I'm glad I did." Now, if you want to know exactly how I manage my millions every time I get paid so you can copy the routine, I'm going to leave that video right up there. But don't click on it just yet. Make sure you've smashed that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below saying warrior so I know who's actually serious about this.